How many times have you reacted impulsively only to regret it later? Humiliation triggers anger, shame, and the immediate urge to strike back. But that's exactly where the trap begins. When you react in the heat of emotion, you hand control over to the other person. The Stoic sages taught that between stimulus and response there is a space, and in that space lives your freedom. When someone provokes you, you can take a deep breath, pause, and choose not to lower yourself. That's not weakness, Mike, it's self-mastery. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." In practice, it can be as simple as saying, "Let's talk about this later," or even staying silent. Conscious silence is not defeat, it's strategy. It shows that you are not driven by the instincts of the moment, but by clarity and self-respect. If you can remain unshaken in the face of provocation, you've already won. Because the one who keeps calm in chaos shows a strength that no one can humiliate. How many times have you entered a discussion believing that if you just found the right argument, the other person would finally understand, but walked away exhausted instead? Stoicism gives us a valuable lesson. Don't argue with those who have already decided not to listen. Some people don't want understanding. They want to win an ego battle. To keep insisting is like trying to light a candle under the rain. No matter how much effort you put in, the flame won't last. Epictetus warned us not to waste energy trying to teach those who refuse to learn. In practice, this means recognizing quickly when a conversation has stopped being a dialogue and turned into a wall. You notice that no matter what facts you present, the other person shuts down, repeats the same lines, and leaves no room for reflection. At that moment, to keep insisting is to abandon yourself. Silence, contrary to what many think, is not weakness. It's maturity. It's choosing to protect your peace rather than fight meaningless battles. And the impact is powerful. When you refuse to enter a war of words, the other person is disarmed. They expected you to react, to shout, to come down to their level. Instead, you offer balance, and that carries more strength than any counter-argument. True respect is born when you realize you don't need to prove anything. Simply walking away from a sterile debate is a quiet demonstration of dignity. Before moving on, remember this: your energy is your most valuable asset. Choose carefully where you invest it. If there's no listening, there is no dialogue. And if there is no dialogue, the best choice is to step back, take a deep breath, and move on. That's not giving up. It's protecting your integrity. Too often we carry insults as if they were truths carved in stone. Someone throws out a cruel phrase and it echoes in our minds for days. But the Stoics remind us, it's not the words themselves that hurt, but the meaning we choose to give them. Epictetus said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." When someone disrespects you, they're revealing far more about their own inner state than about your worth. Insults are reflections of unresolved frustrations, insecurities, and hidden wounds. The mistake is accepting them as mirrors of your identity. A Stoic doesn't get confused. He understands that another person's behavior is their responsibility. The insult doesn't define you. It only exposes the emotional limitation of the one who said it. In practice, this requires mental distance. It's looking at the provocation and asking, what does this really say about them? And why should I carry this weight with me? That simple question acts as an invisible shield. You filter what matters and let the rest dissolve in the wind. When you understand that disrespect speaks more about the offender than the offended, the need for revenge disappears. You don't need to prove anything. True power lies in holding on to your clarity and acting according to your values, not someone else's anger. Being calm doesn't mean accepting everything in silence. Self-control is not submission, and keeping peace is not the same as tolerating the intolerable. The Stoics knew that dignity is born when we set clear boundaries without losing serenity. There's no need to shout, to humiliate, or to retaliate in anger. True respect is earned through consistency, posture, and integrity. Epictetus taught that we must act according to our rational nature, avoiding extremes. This means that you can, and should, set boundaries when someone crosses the line, but you can do it with calm firmness, without lowering yourself to their lack of control. It's not aggressiveness, it's maturity. In practice, it might look like saying calmly, I don't accept being treated this way. It might mean ending a conversation that has gone beyond the limits of respect. It might mean refusing interruptions or emotional blackmail. The secret is to maintain a firm, consistent posture without unnecessary justifications. When you position yourself this way, you send a silent message: I respect myself, and I expect the same from you. Setting boundaries does not mean changing someone else's behavior. It means changing your own posture toward them. And that alone is often enough to make people rethink how they treat you. In the end, protecting your boundaries is protecting your peace. Few things are as exhausting as chasing respect from someone who has already decided not to offer it. You try, you adapt, you stay quiet, you try to please, and yet all you get are crumbs of attention. The result is always the same: emotional fatigue, frustration, and a sense of emptiness. The Stoics taught that everything outside our control must be treated with rational indifference, and among those things is how others perceive us. If you place your dignity in someone else's hands, you're giving away control of your self-esteem. As Epictetus said, the one who depends on the judgment of others becomes a slave to external approval. Cultivating self-respect means understanding that you don't need acceptance to be worthy. It means knowing that someone's silence does not diminish your voice, and another's coldness does not freeze your essence. True strength is born when you choose to value yourself without needing constant confirmation. In practice, this means stopping the chase where there is no reciprocity. It's not pride, it's clarity. If someone doesn't respond, don't push. If someone treats you with indifference, don't beg for attention. Step away with calm and firmness. This silent gesture is a powerful declaration: I am enough. When you cultivate self-respect, you create space for relationships and environments that truly recognize your worth. And above all, you show yourself that you don't need to beg for consideration in order to live with dignity. The people you surround yourself with quietly shape your thoughts, your attitudes, and even the way you see yourself. It's like being in an environment with clean air or polluted air. You breathe without noticing, but it enters your body and affects your health. The same happens with your mind and your heart. Marcus Aurelius advised, stay close to those who help you become better, and distance yourself from those who corrupt the soul. This is one of the most practical lessons of Stoicism. It's not about living in isolation or cutting off everyone who thinks differently, but about being selective with whom you share your energy, your trust, and your vulnerability. Negative people, overly critical, constantly complaining, always putting others down, act like a headwind. They may not knock you over at once, but they slowly push you off course. Meanwhile, wise, generous, and constructive people are like pillars. They strengthen your posture and help you remain firm, even in moments of fragility. In practice, this requires courage. Courage to limit contact with those who drain your energy. Courage to reduce the space given to those who only bring weight into your life. And above all, courage to choose the people who truly contribute to your growth. Surrounding yourself with those who strengthen you is not selfishness. It's responsibility for your own evolution. And more than that, when you become stronger, you also become a more solid support for others. Because only those who stand tall can help hold someone else up. We arrive now at the final and perhaps most important lesson. The true armor against humiliation and contempt is not outside of you. It is within. It is the strengthening of your inner world that makes you unshakable. The Stoics never preached coldness or indifference, but firmness. To be unbreakable does not mean to never feel pain. It means not allowing pain to destroy you. It means looking at an insult and realizing, this does not define me. It means facing a loss and understanding, this does not erase my worth. It means enduring disappointment and turning it into learning, not into a prison. Marcus Aurelius wrote that peace is not found in external events, but in the ability to keep the soul steady even in the midst of chaos. That requires discipline, cultivating clear thoughts, practicing inner silence, strengthening principles, and acting according to them, even when no one is watching. In practice, becoming unbreakable means investing in routines that shield your mind, meditating, reflecting before reacting, choosing your battles wisely, keeping relationships that nurture you rather than drain you. It means reminding yourself every day, I am greater than the opinions of others. I am greater than circumstances. When you strengthen this inner world, no one has the power to bring you down, because the only ones who fall are those who hand over their strength. And the Stoic does not hand it over. He observes, he breathes, and he chooses, always with clarity, always with dignity.